Okay, today we're going to be using a Fretboard Toolbox Complete Baritone Ukulele book, and we're going to be looking at the keys of G and C and D. And these are arrangements that I just started messing with today, so they're in no way perfect. But the idea is to be able to see how you can make up the melodies or how you can make up arrangements when you can find those melody notes. And so we'll look first at the key of G, then C, then D. And so the key of G, I need to know the three chords in the song, which is G major, C major, D major. That's called the 1, 4, and 5 chord. And then for me, I want to know what is my major scale. And those are my notes in white boxes. Okay, so it's G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. And that's all the notes in this song. Okay, it's the one note, do, two is re, three is mi, fa, so, la, ti, and then back to do. So this melody, in whatever key you're playing it in, goes 5, 1, 7, 1. Okay, it's always 5, 1, 7, 1. And so in the key of G, it's going to be D, G, F sharp, G, B. Okay, so it's going to go 5, 1, 7, 1, 3. Okay, and that may not seem important yet, but it unlocks everything if you take the time to learn it. So you may need to pause a ton of times during this video. If I was watching someone else give this lesson, I would too. And I'd also use the little gear down in the corner to slow down the lesson to 75, 50% when there was stuff I didn't see what they were doing. So I'll try to go slow, but be sure to use that gear. It helps a lot. And pause and rewind. It helps so much. I do it all the time, every day when I practice using other people's stuff. Okay, so this is, it's going to go, start on this D note here. It can start on any of the Ds, but I said it goes D, G, F sharp, G. Okay, and you can play that anywhere on the fretboard, but I'm going to play it down here. D, G, F sharp, G, and the F sharp's the tricky one up on the 4th fret. So the way I'm playing it is like with my pinky. You may try, because I want to have this G note here, up here on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, but I need to hit this melody for a second. So the way I'm playing it is D, G, F sharp, G, B. Then it goes to the D chord. So when I'm playing the D chord, D major is D, F sharp, A. And notice I take off the A for a second. And you can do that all the time, like in lots of different keys. That little move on a D chord sounds good. So from the top again. And then I'm going to go B, A, G. So that's B, A, G, strum, B, D, E. Okay, when it goes to the E note, it's part of a C major chord. So C major is C, E, and G notes. On a toolbox, you can see 1, 5, 3, and 5. It's the C, E, and G. Major chords are always 1, 3, and 5. So look at those G, C, and D chords and learn the 1st, 3rd, and 5th notes of each of those chords. It'll help a ton. So when the melody comes up to this E, I'm strumming a C major chord. Okay, so do, do. Now I'm going to a G chord, but I'm throwing this D on here because the melody comes to here after the E. Okay, so let's look at that again. E, E, D. G major's G, B, D. Do, 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 do. Okay. Then it goes back to the C. Nope. Let's see. Do, 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 do. There's that B forgot over a D chord. Okay, so let's go. Okay, extra slow. Okay, so that's the key of G. And if you know that the song starts out D, G, F sharp, G, then, and you need a more advanced practice, try finding G or D, G, F sharp, G in other places, like up here. Which reminds me, so that was all just right up in here. I was going to show you the melody by itself here. So the melody by itself, so that one you might need to slow down, but see if you can find that melody. And if you got it down here, find it in some other places too. And once you get it in the key of G, now let's try it in another key. So we're going to do the key of C next. And my three main chords in the key of C, my three major chords, is my 1 is C major, my 4 is F major now, and my 5 is G major. And the song still starts out, the white boxes is your C major scale. It still starts out 5, 1, 7, 1. Okay, so in this key it's going to be G, C, B, C. Okay, so when I come down here, all the notes in white boxes are my major scale, and I would need G, C, B, C. Okay, so this one lays out pretty nice on the uke, on the Bari uke, but there is one tricky part up here where we have to hit a F major, which is the notes F, A, and C. But I'm just going to use this G major shape on, is that G on a uke, on a Bari uke? No, it's a D major on a Bari uke. D major shape up here. So I'll show you that in a sec. So let's try the key of C. And I'm going to play C major, F major, G major to change the sound in our heads. Okay, so now our ears are hearing C major key. Okay, so I'm going to go C, G, B, C, like this. Okay, so that's G, C, B, C, E, D, C, D, E, D, C, E, G, A. Okay, so now I'm up here. So I can play this shape right here to get this A note, which is part of the F major chord, but I can also throw on this A up here if I want, or I can just skip the D string, but I don't want the D note to sound out. It doesn't sound terrible because it's still in the key, but it's not part of the F major chord. That'd be like an F6. So maybe you want to add that because you're jazzier than I am. So let's take it from the top again and get back up to where we're hitting this F major chord. Let's see. Okay, so this time I need this G note, but I'm playing a C major chord. So C major is E, G, C, or C, E, G notes. But I can throw on a G on any C major because it's still part of the chord. C majors are made of the notes C, E, and G. So it's still part of the chord, and I need it for the melody. So let's see. Let's go back to here. Nope. Let's see. Time out. Let me regroup. Okay, that was it. So here. There, that's what I'm missing. I keep forgetting this open E right here. There's that G major, G5 with that D note right here. Let's take it from here. This is F major. So let me show you just the melody as I was playing it. Okay, so that's the key of C. Like I would pause it and see if you can figure out kind of what I was doing there, and I would also pause it and see if you can figure it out in another spot here. So it started out G, C, B, C, while the key of C is still in your head. So find a place where you can go G, C, B, C, or G, C, B, C. Oop. So there, I didn't have it. So, but that's fine. Like that's where you just start playing around and goof around and make mistakes. But notice that a lot of the mistakes, the ones that sound extra bad, they're in gray boxes because they're not in the key at all. So watch for that, and don't be frustrated when you make mistakes. Like every time you make a mistake, your brain is learning something new and important. And so just embrace them. Like they happen to everyone. Okay, last one, we're gonna do the key of D. Again, it's gonna go 5, 1, 7, 1. Okay, so in the key of D, it's gonna go A, D, C sharp, D. And the three chords I wanna know, D major, G major, A major. And this one is a little bit of a tougher arrangement, but they're all kind of tough. So let's give this one a shot. So I'm gonna go A, D, C sharp, D. Okay, so like this. Let me play D, G, A major chords to change the key in our head. Okay, that does a ton. It's amazing. Play 1, 4, 5, and then you'll change the key. The one chord, play the one chord, the 4 chord, and the 5, and you'll change the key in your head. Okay, so now we got the key of D in our head. It goes like this. So A, D, C sharp, D, F sharp. Okay, so this one's tough. The way I'm playing my D is I'm using this finger to mash both of these strings down. So. And I'm using that same principle to play my A major chord here. You may play A major like this, but you need some extra finger left over to hit this melody right here. Okay, so. Okay, now this chord right here is a G major chord. G majors are G, B, and D notes. I'm playing the 7th fret on the first string is a B, and then the 2nd string open, the 3rd string open, and the 4th string open. So I'm playing D, G, B, B, so that's still a G major. If I play the G, that's G major. The B is still G major. The D makes it still G major. If I can get way up here. On the 15th, that's still G major. So, but the reason I'm picking this one is because I want that melody note up here on the 7th. So like this. Okay, but let's start it over so we can get back to that spot. Now I need this weird D shape. D major is D, F sharp, and A, but here I'm playing D, A, D, A, so I'm not having the third note, so I'm just playing the 1 and 5. That's called a power chord, or a 5 chord, so like a D5 is just D and A, no F sharp, and so it's got a different sound. The reason I'm picking that is because I want this A from my melody, okay? So like, okay, so let's come back to here. Okay, so that's in those 3 keys, and again, I can find that all up and down the fretboard. You can work on a cleaner arrangement or an easier arrangement or a more complicated arrangement, but whatever arrangement you're working on, you're going to be working out of these ideas of what are the chords that are in the song, and where are those notes that make up those chords and make up the scales, and how can I incorporate those together. So just because I did it on the other 2, let me show you just the melody on this D, and then we'll get out of here. So in the key of D, I went. Let's see, do do. Okay, so that's the melody. Now to be able to see that in any key, you can use the Fretboard Toolbox Complete Baritone Ukulele book. You can just write out the scales on your own, make up your own fretboard charts. But learning to be able to see those things all up and down the fretboard, and learning what is the 1, 4, and 5 chord, and what are the melody notes that are making up this song. And for me, like knowing this is 5 1 7 1, like that's huge, because then I can figure 5 7 1 5 1 7 1 in any key, and I can do it on whatever instrument I'm playing if I can see where all those notes are laid out. So if you're interested in checking out fretboard toolboxes, you can go to the Fretboard Toolbox website and go to pick your instrument. And I've got books for all these different instruments, and they're all set up just alike. Today we were looking at the baritone ukulele. Today we were looking at the complete edition, but make sure you click this essential versus complete link, because that's the biggest question I get asked, and they're very different books. So this one's got full color, and this one has all the keys, but you can learn a lot more if you just click this link to be able to see more about it. And then if you click look inside, you can download a third of the book, or quarter to a third of the book of any edition for free, and get all the instructions for free and the key of G major pages, so you can mess around with it and see if you find something useful. And I got all sorts of other free stuff on here for you: circle of fifths, ways to improve, recording your practice time, how to build major keys, quick key decoder, and and tons of free jam tracks, hundreds of free jam tracks, some different pick and melody ideas, and all sorts of fun things. So I hope you found something useful today, and I hope that this is a great new year for you, and even better than the last one. It's January 1st, 2021. I don't usually like to say that, but that's what it is. So I hope this one's a really good one for you, and I'll be back with more videos on more of my favorite instruments. Thanks for taking a look.